Hey, fourth grade. All righty. Keep going with chapter 9. We're on to chapter 9, lesson 2 today. Yesterday, we talked about relating tenths to decimals. Now we are talking about relating hundredths to decimals. All right, so let's look at this fraction. We've got 3 hundredths. How could we represent 3 hundredths on this hundredths chart? How many would we have to shade in? Right, 3 right here. This numerator always tells us how many would need to be shaded in. So we've got 3 hundredths. So let's see how we could write that as a decimal. So how many ones do we have? How many wholes do we have? Right, we do not have any wholes. So we are going to put a 0 in our ones place. Then we're going to bring that decimal point down. Okay, do we have any tenths? Do we have a full tenth shaded? No, we do not. So there is going to be a 0 placeholder in the tenths place as well. How many hundredths do we have? Very good. We have 3 hundredths. So we would write 3 hundredths as 0, decimal point, 0, 3, making sure that that numerator is in that hundredths place. Very good. And we would read it just like this, 3 hundredths. It's exactly how we would read it, just like that. So 3 hundredths is equivalent to 0, decimal point, 0, 3. 3 hundredths. Both of these represent 3 hundredths. One is just a fraction and the other is a decimal. All right, let's try one where we've got a whole number in the mix as well. So here we've got 1 and 25 hundredths. So how am I going to represent this 1? Yeah, we're going to have to shade in all 100 of these squares to represent 100. I'm just going to very quickly shade them in, not 100% coloring everything so that we are not wasting time with you just watching me color this shape in. All right, so we've represented our whole number. Now we're going to have to represent the fractional part of the mixed number, 25 hundredths. So how would I represent 25 hundredths? Exactly. I'm going to have to shade in 25 of these squares. So we know that each row has 10 in it. So there is 10, 20, and then 5 more, 21, 22, 23, 24, and 25. Okay, so now that we've got our mixed number represented in our model, let's go ahead and plug in the numbers to our place value chart. How many ones do we have? Very good. Our whole number, we have 1 as our whole number. Very good. Then we are going to bring down our decimal point because that always separates our ones and our tenths place. Okay, so now we have to look at how we are going to put 25 into the rest of the place value chart. So do I just put, let me get a pencil out. Do I just put 25 like that? No, that is not what I'm going to do. I'm going to take that 25 and I'm going to write it just like that. 2 tenths here. Do you see 1 tenth here, 2 tenths here, and then 5 hundredths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hundredths. So that's why we can put it like this. And we don't just put it all right here in this box because we do have 2 tenths shaded and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hundredths shaded. Does that make sense? All righty, so we can write 1 and 25 hundredths just like this. 1 decimal point, 25. And then we would read it just like this. 1 And remember, when we get to this decimal point, what word do we say to represent that decimal point? Very good. And so 1 and 25 hundredths. Very good. Just like that. All right, let me throw you an extra one. What if I gave you this? 29 hundredths. What do you think that would look like as a decimal point? How many ones do we have? Good, we do not have any ones, so we would put 0 here as our ones placeholder. And then what always goes in between our ones place and our tenths place? Very good, a decimal point. So 0 decimal point. And then how would I represent 29 hundredths? Very good, just by writing 29. Very good. So 29 hundredths is equivalent to 29 hundredths like this. All right, great job, guys. Tomorrow on Wednesday, you're going to have just a couple review problems to do. It's going to be Review Skill Wednesday, and then we will pick back up with Chapter 9 lessons on Thursday. So have a great afternoon. Have a great day tomorrow, and I will see you back here on Thursday.